how to deal with grief as it comes into my life. And honestly, just grieving the fact that things are not whatever normal is. We talked just a little bit about that the last time, but actually being aware that it is a true grief and not trying to just shove it under, a rug or bury it somewhere, but just to realize that it is true grief, because we were not able to do some of the things that we were at one time. On the flip side of that, though, since this is the week of gratitude, with Thanksgiving, giving thanks for all of the things that we do indeed have at this moment. At this moment, she's still here, right? Yeah, at this moment. And you're still here at this moment. And just being aware of all of the things that we do have, instead of focusing on the things that we don't have. And I know that sounds so trivial, but it is something that I can feel a little reprieve from all of the changes that are going on. Just looking around and being grateful for some of the things that haven't changed. The fact that we're still getting together, although it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, not in person, but we're still able to see each other and talk to each other. And that is very, very helpful. Very helpful. Let's do just a little, sometimes when I'm feeling anxious and with things that are coming like into the future, or feeling like I don't have control over certain things. We did tapping for anxiety a while ago, but like you said, sometimes we need a little review. So let's go ahead and just review. There's about 10 places, and everybody does it just a little bit differently, but this is the way that I learned the tapping routine, and there's acupressure points that we're going to be tapping on, and then saying like an affirmation, like, even though I know I'm anxious or nervous about whatever it is, or even though I'm anxious and nervous about what's to come, I know I will be okay. And that is a great way to just kind of think about like all the things that are going on. Yes, you're acknowledging, yes, even though I'm anxious and nervous about what's going on, I know I'm going to be okay. Things will work out the way that they should. So let's start. So that there's 10 points. One of them is here, right on your hands, right here along this side. So instead of tapping one and the other, we're going to do double duty. So we're just going to tap right here. It's kind of like a karate chop right here. So here we go. Even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know everything is going to be okay. All right. The next place we're going to tap is on the top of the head. So we're just going to tap up here. Even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know I'm going to be okay. The next place we're going to tap is right above the eyebrows. So you can find your eyebrows, and then right there. Even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know that things will work out. And then right on the side, right here, even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know things will be okay. And then down here, this area right here, even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know things will be okay. And then right here, below your nose, above your lip, even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know I'm going to be okay. And then underneath your lip right here, Even though, and you can do this or just one this time, even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know I'm going to be okay. And then we're going to drop down to the acupressure points that are like you can find like your collarbone right there, and then just drop down. You'll feel a natural indentation right there. So it's even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know I'm going to be okay. And then right in the middle, that little thymus thump, even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know I'm going to be okay. And then there's another point that's either under the armpit, right on both sides. You can either cross your arms and do this, or do one at a time. Sometimes this area, right, and it's like you find the armpit and then slide down. Sometimes that area feels really tender, all right, in that area. So you can just give it a little massage, but we're just going to tap it again. Even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know I'm going to be okay. All right, and then the last one is right on the crease of your wrist. It's going to be right in this area right there. So it's on both sides. And this one's kind of hard to get. So you can either tap here, or you can do the little karate chop this way. So even though I'm anxious and nervous about the unknown, I know I'm going to be okay. And then I like to just finish it off by just lifting my hands up, tilting my chin up, taking a breath in, and slowly letting it out. Good. So that can take your mind off of some of the things that are going on. And also you've hit all those acupressure points that can really help with when you're feeling anxious or nervous about anything, all right? Because your mind is always going and giving you little messages and talking to you all day long. So sometimes we need to help it to just stop for a moment, and then that tapping really will help with that when you're feeling really anxious. I'll walk around the house sometimes doing that, like even though I know, even though I'm feeling really nervous about this, and then I do the whole thing while I'm just walking. So it's kind of like a walk and talk. So you can do it while you're walking around your house or out for a walk, or just sitting like we did. And usually afterwards, it just feels much better in my mind. And then also my body doesn't feel quite as like this when you're feeling so anxious and nervous. Yes. So Barbara, take yourself off mute again, and then we'll.
I'm here.
Yes, now you're back again. All right. So anything else that's going on that is, of course, that is like number one in the forefront for you at this time. And I'm just trying to think if there is some other, there's plenty of techniques that we can practice and do together. But that one is very helpful for when you're feeling just like gripped right in the moment. And it gives you something to do, those 10 points. If you can't reach all of those 10 points, Barbara, one of the things we've done this in some of the times that you and I have been together, there's 4 areas that you can just tap or thump, and that really will help just bring you back to this moment. And they're acupressure points again. And we, from the 10 that we did, remember we just did a little tap right here, and we're just breathing in. And then we're going to drop down and do this one again. Tap here. And then the thymus thump. And then the last one again under that armpit area on both sides, and then just that. And then those are the 4 thumps. If you can't remember all 10, or you don't have the, you don't have the time to look back at the video, those can be just very, very helpful. And honestly, if you can't remember any of those, just the heart, again, just give that a little thump, and that's really going to be very helpful for when you're feeling exhausted, tired, exasperated, angry, all of those things, just a little thumb, just even a massage or a little thump to just really help bring you back to this moment. And I found that that's really helpful for when I'm when I'm really sad, I just put both hands just right to my heart to just acknowledge that. Yeah, just that is very helpful for when you're just feeling that overwhelming sadness. And I think there's a lot that we can just do to help ourselves when we're feeling that is first just acknowledge it. Yes, this is sad. This is really sad. And then know that, and it sounds so trivial, but it's not forever. It's really not. It just seems like it's forever. It just seems like it's dragging. Sometimes some of the situations that we're in just seem to feel like we're dragging on, and it passes. Just like that grief, it's like a wave. It comes in, it feels like it's so like you're going to be buried in it, and sometimes you do feel buried in it, but then it goes back out. And you're here once again in this moment. And it's the same thing with all of the things that come into our mind. They're thoughts, and they pass. It just feels like they're going to hang on for a long time, but they do pass. Just like what we're going through right now. This will be over next year, hopefully. Next year at this time, I know, fingers crossed too, that we'll be looking at things maybe a little bit differently. And the things that we've done during this time, I think some of them are amazing, right? Look at the things that we've done during this time that we might not have ever had the opportunity. Just as an example, this Giving Thanks Day, Thanksgiving on Thursday, normally I would have a house full of people. This year, it's just going to be the three of us and the cat. So my husband, myself, and my one son who's in finishing up his senior year at college. And so it's just the three of us. And we're not doing turkey this year. So different. And you can eat what you want. And in fact, I was talking to someone and she said, I think I'm just going to have Turkey Hill ice cream with some Kahlua on top. I'm like, make it what you want, right? So in that respect, it's different. Sometimes we don't like different or changes because it's like we're so used to doing things. Well, we've never done it that way. Or all of these things. And again, it's new territory for us. So trying to maneuver through that is not easy for any of us. And we need to keep giving ourselves like a little pat on the back, like, wow, I've never done that before. Okay. Some of the things like Zoom, I had to learn this technique and so did you. So this was all brand new. I barely even knew what that was a year ago. And now it's just part of our weekly things that we do. We check in through our devices. And another thing too, even though we have all of this connectiveness through our iPads, our computers, our phones, our Zooming, all of those things, sometimes we can still feel very, very lonely, right? I know. And that sometimes is crushing, that loneliness that we feel. And again, sometimes when we think about that and someone says, well, you're never really alone, it's just like that is true, but we do feel sometimes as if we are just all by ourselves. And to help with that, sometimes I'll sit with that again, going, yes, at this moment, I'm just by myself. However, I know that I can pick up the phone and call, family members or friends, and not through Zoom, but just the old-fashioned telephone. And sometimes that can really help me feel connected again to family. Because right now I haven't, oh my goodness, I haven't seen some of my kids in over a year, and that is rough. And I know it is for everyone. It is for everyone. So we truly are in this together, all of us. We are in this together. I like to say that because it helps me also, because we are all connected. We can be connected just right now through the screen, or we can just be connected through just thinking about each other too, just thinking about each other. So until I see you again, I'm wishing you a wonderful Thanksgiving and giving thanks for the things that we do have right here, right now, at this moment.